How old are you guys?
8 and 10. Yeah. She's 10. I'm 10 and a half.
Okay. And what grade are you guys in?
Second, fourth.
Well, my name is Stephanie, and I'm my children's mother, Bailey and Marcus. I've lived at one shelter. Let's see, Marcus was like 6 months old. Bailey was maybe 3, and I was at my mom's house actually, and it was around my birthday. And I'd been in and out of her house, you know, with the open door policy. But she got tired of it. She really did. She said, "Stephanie, I love you. I just can't do this anymore. Your life is your life, and my life is my life. I can't let this ruin my marriage." Because it was stressful for her and her new husband to allow me and my kids to live in her home when they're, you know, it was just difficult. Anyway, she told me she loved me, but I had to go. So she allowed me to stay a few days while I called around and I found a shelter. And the day of my birthday, she let me go live in a shelter with 2 kids.
But there's, I mean, so many other different reasons that people become homeless. You know, people are, you and I are one paycheck away from being homeless, literally. I mean, especially with the economy.
And our shelter had like 65 kids. And I don't know how much the other shelters.
No, there was only like 35, 40 in our
And
shelter.
then it like raised and raised and raised because new people kept coming in.
How many shelters are in the Seattle area?
There's actually a lot more shelters for single men, single women. The Family and Adult Services is the only place that I found during my calling around that allowed families to be together. And then there was the Unity Gospel Mission that were women and children. But yeah, there's not very many for families.
My mom said, "Oh, we can't afford to live here anymore, so we're gonna have an adventure." I said, "Okay, what's this adventure?" And it was, we were gonna camp. And it was still spring. It was like April, May in there, and so it was still cold in the mornings, and we didn't know how to start a fire. And so when you're camping, that's how you keep warm. We just had a tent, and we were cold, and people would like leave their campsites, and then we'd like go try to find wood at their campsites to see if there's anything that's still burnable and bring it back, and my older brother would try to start a fire.
Challenging sometimes.
What's been challenging about it?
Like having to move all over the place.
One of the major things is just being at school. You know, school is so important, and a lot of times students are, if they're not at school, they're not able to progress academically or even from grade to grade.
It was very chaotic. There was times where I'd take them, there was times where I couldn't get up to take them. There was, yeah, I'd been threatened with the Becca law because they'd missed too much school or they were always tardy.
Did you have a lot of friends at school?
Yeah.
Did they know about where you lived?
No.
No. What would you do when they'd ask if they could come over?
They can. If you know where our house is, yes.
Nobody wants to have their kids being taken away handled in any situation because it's all around bad in their perspective. When I was younger, I got bit back to show me what it was like, and that's what I was trying to display to Bailey. She had bit Marcus one time pretty bad, and so I bit her back. I unfortunately had left bruise marks on her without cutting the skin because she didn't bleed, but it was noticed at her school, and CPS was called.
like in it?
Yeah.
No.
What about outside of it?
Yeah.
What were you scared of?
Just empty hall.
No, like if somebody like broke into the place. Well, we lived in downtown. And it was like really dirty, and people were yelling all over the time, all over the place, and people were like getting into fights. And because on that street it was a really nasty street. Sometimes at night you would have to, most likely you have to pack your stuff in a bag, and you would have to go to a church and sleep on mats.
They claim, and
we
while
had-
we lived it, believe it, they did not like going through it. Now what do you say? When we go to the mission, what do you say?
I miss
wanna
it,
go
and I
back.
want to live back there, but we hated it when we lived there.
Yeah.
My favorite part was when I moved into the shelter. I liked it because there was a lot of friends.
When I think back to my childhood, I remember just being lost all the time. Like, where am I doing? Where am I supposed to go? Like, I was always like behind. I felt like confused.
Because I don't want to do drugs because of what I've seen my mom do. Like, get in trouble. Well, not get in trouble, but like lose your house and stuff like that.
I didn't even know that we were homeless until like I was in high school, and I looked back. I was like, yeah, when we were camping, we were really homeless.
I think, you really just have to think about what's best for kids. And I think it's unfortunate sometimes that we can't all work together, and I think it's part of a member of a community that we all need to work together to help serve the kids, because they're the ones that are our future.
Living through it, not the best experience. It's not fun at times. It's, you have to surrender to people that are willing to help you and in a healthy manner, and that's hard when you're not used to that. It's a big adjustment, and trying to rein my kids under that as well was more difficult. But all in all, when we go back, they miss it. Nope.
Signing off for the last time. Goodbye, you guys.